Hello, people. I'm Guy in a Hoodie. Let's say you're making a movie. What's the most important part? Obviously, the title, with the writing being a close second. Movie titles. They are a massive part of a film's identity, with big shoes to fill. It's gotta be aligned with the movie's tones and themes, it's gotta be memorable so you always think of the movie when you hear it, and it's gotta be unique to stand out amongst other movies. Or you could just be lazy and make it a name. One of the most common names a movie can have is just the name of the main character, or maybe the setting the movie takes place in. Stuff like Luca, Jason Bourne, Mulan, Chicago, Jurassic Park. And to be honest, I just find these kinda boring. Now, some of these make sense. For example, biopics like Oppenheimer, Elvis, or Napoleon. I mean, yeah, they're boring, it's literally just the name of the guy it's based on, but like, what else are you gonna call it? I mean, you could be more honest. But most of the time when the title is just a name, it's just like a normal name, like John Wick. The only reason why people don't care is because the movies are so popular that people just think of the movies when they hear the name John Wick. But if I show you something like Harry Brown, you wouldn't give a single damn about that guy. But again, not all of these are bad. Most of the MCU movies, or most superhero movies, are just the superhero names, which is fair. I mean, there are currently over 30 MCU films, and that's not even considering other superhero stuff like DC. If they didn't just use the name of the superhero for the movie, can you realistically come up with a unique name for all the movies? The only thing you could realistically do is just come up with subtitles. Speaking of which, most of the time when a movie gets a sequel, it just hits the original title with a number of the installment. But sometimes it's just the original title with a new subtitle. Or if you're the MCU, you can have both! Or if you're Friday the 13th, you can have both! Meanwhile, I like it when sequels to movies change the original title of the first one. Stuff like, instead of Finding Nemo, it's Finding Dory. Instead of I Know What You Did Last Summer, it's I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Or instead of The Hitman's Bodyguard, it's The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Even stuff like Too Fast, Too Furious is dumb as hell, but it's still pretty neat. But obviously, it makes more sense to just do stuff like High School Musical 3 or It Chapter 2. But one thing that doesn't make sense is something I found in the dictionary. My least favorite type of movie title are the ones where it's just a word. Because like, come on, you spend $200 million making a movie, but less than a minute giving it a name? It's like a woman making a child for 9 months only to name the kid Hunter.
Like, come on, you can do better than that.
With movies that have a character name title, at least sometimes makes sense because the character slash place is something wholly unique to the movie. I'm sure like 90% of movies have cars in them. I mean, I get why studios do this. One-word titles make them easy to remember, and if the movie does well, you remember every time you hear the word.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going on vacation in Madagascar.
Like the movie?
What?
And the worst part is that sometimes some movie titles are repeated, which can lead to confusion.
Hey dude, you should watch the movie Frozen.
And that's not even mentioning stuff like adaptations. And it switches with how it's worded from movie to movie. Sometimes it's Transformers the movie, or Cowboy Bebop the movie. Other times it's the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, or a Minecraft movie. Which, by the way, using a instead of the heavily implies there's going to be more of these, which scares me. But this stuff, and also names, and all other one-word titles are just boring. It's nothing unique, takes no effort to come up with, and are just plain dumb. But we can go dumber. Movies that are just numbers. Well, this makes even less sense. If I name drop a movie called Chef that you've never seen or heard before, at the very least you would know that cooking and restaurants are an important part of the movie. Now what do you think of if I tell you about a movie called 31? If your first guess was a Rob Zombie clown horror action movie, you cheated. Now, so far, I've been very negative with titles. So now it's time to look at some good ones. The Sixth Sense. Perfectly mysterious. If I told someone about this movie, they would be like,
Wait, there's a sixth one?
Glass Onion. Also mysterious, but in a different way. If I told someone about this movie, they would be like,
What the hell is that?
There Will Be Blood. Ominous, violent, and sinister. If I told someone about this movie, they would be like,
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
So basically, in my opinion, a good title for a movie is something that is unique in the grand scheme of movies, while also being a perfect description of the movie's themes and story. Because if you don't, you get stuck with the name XXX. Is this like porn?